What's up, gang? This is Bride with Eagles Real Talk. The Fly is covering the Eagles on YouTube. Thank you for tapping in with me. We just got news that Jalen Hurts is actually doubtful this week versus the Saints. It's kind of crappy because we thought, he was trending up as far as playing this week, but it looks like we're going to get Gardner Minshew for the second week in a row versus the Saints. And it's, like I said, it's crappy because for one, Jalen he completely owns the Saints. In both matchups he's played against the Saints, he dominated. I know we all remember last year when he broke off that dude with that crazy move, broke his ankles. Jalen Hurts, obviously, he has something against the Saints, and it just sucks we're not going to be able to see it this year, but it is what it is. Guys are going to go down. Guys are going to have to step up. We have Lane Johnson. He's also dealing with an abdominal injury. He's going to, elect to not get surgery and be the beast that we all know he is, which, Lane Johnson, he's a special Eagle. If you haven't, acknowledged him as being one of the top Eagles of all time, I think you need to, because this guy has battled through injuries before and other things and continues to push forward, and he's not going to get surgery on that injury. He's going to elect to rehab. He's going to get 3 to 4 weeks off, and he's going to be ready to go after the bye week. That's why we have to win this week against the Saints, lock down that number 1 seed so we can rest our guys against the Giants and go 15-2. Yes, 15-2. Just like I predicted at the beginning of the season, we're still going to beat the Giants at the end of the year because the Giants are going to be resting a lot of their guys as well. They're going to be in the playoffs. Next week isn't going to matter for them. They're going to rest up their guys as well. So I expect our backups, led by Gardner Minshew and company, to go to New York and get the dub. Now, with that said, Avonte Maddox is also dealing with an injury as well. That is more concerning to me because Lane Johnson being out, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. It is not a good look, especially because he is the best, right tackle in the league. He hasn't gave up a sack, or a quarterback hit, if I'm not mistaken, in over like 27, 28 games. It's a new record. So missing him sucks. But at the end of the day, we still have 2 other Pro Bowlers and 2 alternates on that offensive line. Our offensive line is by far, I think, our best asset, because that's protecting the quarterback and that's getting the run game going. So without that offensive line, we wouldn't be in the position that we're at today. With that said, our offensive line is going to be fine, but our secondary is going to suffer with Josiah Scott. Now, when we're going up against, teams that move their wide receiver around to the slot like they did Lamb with the Cowboys this past Sunday, that's an issue because Josiah Scott just can't keep up with the elite athletes in the NFL. It is what it is. He does his best, but he just can't compete at that level. So guys like Bradbury and Slay are going to have to step up a little bit more. I'm not worried because, like I said, same with the offensive line. We're surrounded by Pro Bowlers all around. We should be able to plug and play and keep it pushing. So I think the Eagles are going to lock down that number 1 seed this week. They're going to beat the Giants next week. You go 15-2. They're going to rest most of their guys next week. They're going to get the first round bye. And by that time, hopefully Lane Johnson and maybe Avonte Maddox and others will be healthy. CJ is going to be back healthy this week. And if he's not healthy this week, he'll be ready to go for the playoffs. So our team is still trending up. I don't want you to be one of those, Eagles fans that are super pessimistic and, down on the Eagles because we've had a few injuries. Look around the league. How many teams have been dealing with way more issues than us as far as injuries go, and they're still making it happen? We have been fortunate enough. We have been blessed as Eagles fans, to not have as many catastrophic injuries this year and to be in the position that we're at because of it. Because if your team isn't healthy, it's hard to win. Let's be honest. So I think the Eagles still are in prime position to go on this great playoff run, and I'm still very confident in this Birds team, even with the injuries. If you are as confident as I am, throw up a flex and a Bird Eagles emoji in the comments and let me know how your confidence level is going forward with this Eagles team despite the injuries. Do you think we're going to win this week with Gardner Minshew? Is your confidence level as high as I am? Are you starting to doubt the Birds? Let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it. But for now, that's all I got for you. Eagles Real Talk out. Keep it real low ways. Peace. Go Birds.